talk about how good you're feeling in those moments of being able to play big when your team needs you in those moments.
Yeah, I'm just feeling free. I would say that's the main thing. Just feeling free to play my game, and yeah, my teammates are trusting me, my coaches are trusting me, and I'm out there just having fun. That's the main thing. If you're not having fun, it's tough to play and give your all. I feel like this year we have that kind of environment, and we're just playing hard for each other and having fun out there.
The resurgence of Kristaps Porzingis continues to be the story for a Dallas Mavericks team that blew a fourth quarter lead but were able to get it done in overtime over the Los Angeles Clippers. This is the Gray Area right here on Kevin Gray Sports. My name is Kevin Gray. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Kevin Gray Sports. Be sure to hit that subscribe button right there for all things Kevin Gray Sports here on YouTube. And can catch you on your home of the Dallas Cowboys and Texas Rangers, 105.3 The Fan. The Dallas Mavericks get the 112-104 win on the road against the Los Angeles Clippers, breaking a 3-game losing streak. And the return of Luka Doncic, who had 15 points in the third quarter alone, going 6 of 8 from the field. He finishes with 26 points in this game. Meanwhile, the Dallas Mavericks blew a 10-point lead with 1:30 left in the fourth quarter. The Los Angeles Clippers in the fourth quarter on a 11-1 run, including Maxi Kleber missing a free throw that would have given the Mavericks a 4-point lead. Instead, Paul George hits a three-pointer in the corner with time running out to send the game into overtime. But it was all Mavericks in the overtime period, outscoring the Los Angeles Clippers 9-1 in the decisive overtime period. Kristaps Porzingis continues to play spectacular basketball. He had 30 points, 9 of 16 from the field, 2 of 5 from the three-point line, with 10 of 10 from the free throw line. Now, having scored at least 20 points in 7 consecutive games, that is a career-long mark for Kristaps Porzingis, who in his last 7 games alone averaging 26 points per game, 9 rebounds, 2.3 assists per game, nearly a block and a half per game, shooting nearly 53% from the field and over 40% from the three-point line, while also shooting 94% from the free throw line. That is how good Kristaps Porzingis has been in his last 7 games. Since returning from the back stiffness that made him miss 5 games, Kristaps Porzingis has played spectacular basketball, and more importantly, given the Mavericks a lot of confidence that even going forward now, they could be Luka Doncic and Kristaps Porzingis, the dynamic duo that a lot of folks think they could have been. Yes, give credit to Dorian Finney-Smith, who played a career-high 49 minutes in this game, 17 points in this game, had 3 steals, went 7 of 14 from the field, was 2 of 8 from the three-point line. But his defense in the fourth quarter was absolutely spectacular, at one point locking up Reggie Jackson and Paul George on the same exact possession. So defensively, the Mavericks got after it in this game, had 11 steals, forced 18 turnovers, had 5 blocks, all 5 of which coming in the fourth quarter. Maxi Kleber also playing terrific defense, the most versatile defender on this team, was able to help the Mavericks get the win in the end. Obviously, you don't like the fact that they blew an 10-point lead with an 11-1 run that the Clippers had on them to end the fourth quarter with only a minute 30 left in the game. Kristaps Porzingis was able to help the Dallas Mavericks be able to handle their business, especially in the overtime period. Luka Doncic was especially good in the third quarter. He made his return after missing the last several games due to left ankle and left knee sprains. But at the same time, the Dallas Mavericks now, with their ability to continue to get what they got from Porzingis, are now 10-7 on the year and get a win to send them off into the Thanksgiving holiday. They will, of course, get back on the floor when they take on the Washington Wizards on Saturday. But let's get back to Kristaps Porzingis. The Mavs are now 2-0 this year when he goes for at least 30 points in a game. He did it earlier this month when they beat the San Antonio Spurs on the road when he had 32 points in that particular game. Kristaps Porzingis is playing well. He's moving well. He's moving without the basketball. He's staying engaged. He's being able to move to the basket. And what you saw in the Clippers game was a much more aggressive Porzingis, not just on the offensive glass, being able to get second chance rebounds and being able to create extra possessions for his team and get putbacks and those kinds of things, but his moving and cutting to the rim That's when you know you've got a healthy Kristaps Porzingis. While you say, Kevin, they started Willie Cauley-Stein at the 5. He was okay, not great. They still need to find a way to find a serviceable big man to be able to play alongside Kristaps Porzingis, especially if they're going to be committing to playing him at the 4. And I get that because Willie Cauley-Stein and Dwight Powell have not been great. Moses Brown isn't necessarily ready to play yet. He's doing terrific work in practice, working with Tyson Chandler and others, but at this point, not ready to be a significant part of the rotation as of yet. So right now, the Mavericks continuing to experiment with Willie Cauley-Stein, Dwight Powell, and others in the starting lineup to figure out what the best combination is in order to keep Kristaps Porzingis at the 4. Because I've said it time and time again, I feel like this team's best chance to win is with Kristaps Porzingis at the 5, but that's a problem on the defensive end. While, yes, he's a very good help defender with weak side blocks and being able to come and challenge shots off of the weak side, as a straight-up defender, Porzingis is not necessarily a great defender there. So you need a big man to be able to anchor in the paint, to be able to force and block shots and alter shots to allow Kristaps Porzingis to continue to roll and be able to help on weak side. Offensively, it's interchangeable, whether he's at the 4, where he's getting better in terms of his post-up touches and being able to convert there, or more importantly, where he's stretching the floor at the three-point line, working pick and roll and pick and pop situations with Luka Doncic. Kristaps Porzingis offensively is hitting his stride right now. And yes, Mark Cuban, who talked to Mark Medina of NBA.com, said, hey, I had no idea I was going to not trade Kristaps Porzingis. I wasn't going to trade Kristaps Porzingis. Okay, Mark, that's fine. But as I've said time and time again, whether you are a detractor of Kristaps Porzingis or you feel like he's someone who can be a part of a championship team, you need him to be healthy going forward, whether you feel like you can move him to get a piece that will help you further your chances to become a championship team, or if you think he is part of a team that the Mavericks believe they can be to be a championship contender. Now, as it stands right now, if things break a certain way, maybe they can make it to the Western Conference Final. But right now, I see this team as a second-round team, but more importantly, the confidence they are growing with Kristaps Porzingis, and you heard him earlier, the trust that his teammates are putting in him, the trust that his coaches are putting in him is paying off, and more importantly, he's having fun. Luka Doncic, coming back after missing the last several games with the left ankle and left knee sprain, did not score a single point in the fourth quarter and in overtime. But you give credit to his teammates for making plays off of the double teams that he was facing. That is what this team is going to have to do. Teams are always and obviously going to key on Luka Doncic as the primary scorer and ball handler for this basketball team. But this team has to continue to improve when it comes to shooting and knocking down shots. In this game, only shot 31% from the three-point line, an abysmal mark for a team that took 39 threes in this game. The Mavericks' ability to be much better knocking down shots and making teams pay for doubling Luka Doncic is going to be key going forward, because this isn't going to stop. Teams are going to try and force Luka to get the ball out of his hands. It's going to be up to his teammates to make the correct plays, not just the initial play when he gets the ball out of his hands, but the next play, thinking 2 plays ahead, so that teammates are not just getting good shots, but great shots. You saw the ball movement in this game, absolutely spectacular, especially in the second half. That will obviously be tested because Jalen Brunson left the first half with an injury, and we will see how he becomes available as the week goes on, as they get ready to take on Washington on Saturday. But ball movement, knocking down shots, and being able to think 2 plays ahead, especially when Luka Doncic is getting the ball forced out of his hand, is going to be important for this team going forward. And defensively, continuing to lock teams down. You saw what happened, especially in the overtime period. Defensively, when this team is locked in, now that Maxi Kleber is back also, their most versatile defender, those are the things that they can continue to have with them coming forward as they go out to the rest of this regular season. The shot making, we think, will come for this team, and if it does, that's ultimately where this team gets dangerous. But you give them credit, and look, this is why I don't work for the Mavericks, okay? If I had my way, I would have sat Luka Doncic in this game, but he would have not played in the final game of a 4-game road trip where you had already lost the first 3 games, and there really was no reason to get him out there, especially when you had a couple of more days off going into the Thanksgiving break before taking on Washington on Saturday. But hey, they needed to break the losing streak. and they found a way to make sure that Luka Doncic was ready by the time he got ready. In fact, here is him talking about how dangerous he felt after he woke up from his nap and why he was ready to go. Here's Luka Doncic.
I mean, mentally, I was really happy to be back. I miss basketball. I know it's only been 3 days, but like I said in the morning, we'll do everything possible to play the game. And I felt great after I woke up from my nap, and I was just ready to go.
So Luka Doncic saying, hey, look, man, I woke up from my nap. I felt good and I was ready to play. And you could tell that he had been itching to play, almost a little bit of a scare when he ran into someone and bumped his knee, but it did not get any worse. And you saw, especially in the third quarter, how special he was getting them back into the game. Overcoming an 11-point deficit did the Dallas Mavericks to be able to win this basketball game. So the Dallas Mavericks now move to 10-7 on the season. The Mavericks overcome an 11-point deficit to record their 112-104 win in overtime, marking the 6th time this season Dallas has fought back from a double-digit deficit to win a game this year. The Mavericks had 7 such wins all of last season. So give credit to this Mavericks team for the resilience that they showed on the road, not only with their superstar back, but also its co-star starting to play the kind of basketball and doing so over the last 7 games that Mavericks fans expect going forward. How healthy Kristaps Porzingis is able to remain will also be key in seeing how consistent he can play the kind of basketball that he's playing. Because if he is playing this way and staying healthy going along with it, you might see something special from this Mavericks team. But only time will tell, and there's certainly other things that have to be fixed going forward. But you like what you saw, at least when they got it together in overtime. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Kevin Gray Sports. Be sure to hit that subscribe button right there for all these Kevin Gray Sports here on YouTube. It's been another episode of The Gray Area.